Hello, welcome back. I'm welcoming myself back from a beautiful trip where I was off-grid the entire time. No Wi-Fi, no cell service, just connection and nature. Good energy and vibes and people. I'm going to read some energy today. If you happen to catch my last video, you know that the collective has kind of moved into this place of, it's really hard for me to tell if I'm reading the Divine Masculine or the Divine Feminine's energy because they're very interchangeable. So unless I get a specific message that it's one or the other, I'll share that. But otherwise, you kind of have to watch these readings and take it with discernment, what resonates. So if you're watching for yourself, as I always suggest that you should, or if you're watching, you want to kind of have some questions answered about what might be going on right now for you or for your counterpart. A couple messages that I'm getting just right out of the beginning as I'm shuffling my deck is, if you're feeling tired right now, there is good reason for it. There are a lot of shifts, and it takes a lot of energy to close a pattern, to close a cycle, to bring in, to birth something new, to bring forth something new. So there's a lot of energy being used right now. And if perhaps this isn't something that you personally see occurring in your life, this could be something that's going on for your counterpart. So just know that if you're really tired right now, that's a call to give yourself that extra rest. There's a career transition happening. This is Archangel Chamuel. So somebody is really coming into responsibility, accountability, and ownership around your purpose. And Spirit wants us to look at purpose in a different way. Spirit wants us to see purpose as not something we do, but something we are. It's who we be. It's the energy that we are holding within us, and that's what we gift others. So we can be on our purpose at all times, in any given moment. It's not about what we're doing. We could be taking our car into the shop and be on purpose. We can be making food for our friend or family and be on purpose. So it's not so much about what we do, but there is a career change that's occurring. This card did come in the reverse, so this could be a specific message for a few that there may be a little bit of a resistance of this, and what they're telling me is that you know it's time for you to make this shift and to make this change and to walk away from whatever from whatever has been that is been causing a lot of pain and stagnation and frustration, like a caged bird, like a trapped animal. But it's because there's this like identification, ego identification and resistance around what is the correct path, and overthinking and analyzing, and so much thought put into, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Well, what's my purpose? Well, blah, 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 blah. And Spirit's like, forget all that. That's just a distraction. We do, as humans, put a lot of emphasis on life purpose. I mean, I personally started out as a life purpose coach. Like, I legitimately coached people on what their life purpose is. And it's funny because my business didn't take off in the way that I wanted it to, but it was something I was really passionate about. And it's because there was more initiations I needed to go through and to learn, where like, it's not about what you do at all. It's about who you be and the energy that you hold in your body. And when you just allow yourself to be guided towards that, a transition will occur naturally. Archangel Chamuel says, your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So just know that whatever's trying to occur and move through you right now is blessed. It is blessed, and you are protected, and it is correct. A lot of energy. So rest your body, as I'm reminding myself. Drink lots of water. For your nervous system, as you go through changes, it takes a lot of, like I said, it takes a lot of energy to close a cycle down and to step into a new. And so being very mindful of that. And a lot of you, I feel that I'm speaking to in this reading, your nervous system has been a little fried, whether that's from the environments you're in, whether that's from the things that you might be resisting, the communities that you're around. There could potentially be things that you should not be engaging with and interacting with, things that are not good for your system. So Spirit wants you to take space from those people and those situations. And even if that's just like, you know, even if your ego kicks on when I say that and says, oh, I can't do that, it's my job, like what am I going to do? Take a 2-day vacation. Everybody can take a little tiny vacation. You need to take some space from that situation and from those people and those energies to be able to think clearly and to rejuvenate your nervous system and your sacral chakra, because your sacral chakra is in taking really intense energy from the people that you're around that's not actually good for you. So cleanse it, clear it. And Epsom salt baths are going to be really, really helpful. Water is going to be really, really helpful. So getting into water, getting near water, activities that you can do. Archangel Jeremiel says, the worst is now behind you and you are surmounting any previous challenges. So this card is all about overcoming difficulties. Whenever this card comes up in a read for me, it always means the end of a difficult cycle and pattern, closing it out. Okay, I'm back. All right. I'm going to go to tarot. I wanted to sit on the floor because I've been guided to be very grounded and rooted with earth right now. So I wanted to sit on this floor for this reading, but I don't really have a way to shuffle my cards, so it's a little bit awkward. That's okay. It's good to do things outside of your comfort zone. Change. Simple, tiny things. Eating your breakfast in a new area of your house. You know, taking a different path. Walking, driving a new path. Change. There's a lot of change occurring. Even if you tell yourself you aren't afraid of change, I feel like some people watching this reading are a little bit afraid of the change. And maybe if you tower, as I said that, and maybe if you looked a little bit deeper to the undercurrent of where that fear could be, you might be able to uncover something. The Three of Cups just fell out. So to uncover something about your community, who you're exchanging energy with. Tower. Okay, so this reading is turning into a karmic reading a bit. But there is an overcoming of difficulty that's occurring. It's about tuning into the truth of yourself. That's all you have control over. You don't have control over anyone else. So you got to separate. You got to disentangle and find those little energetic breaks. However you can steal them, however you can take them. And when you have that disconnection from others' energies, even well-meaning people, then you're able to see and process and think clearly around third parties. Three's company is what I'm hearing, like, or three's a crowd. So that's like a lot of energy. It's really difficult. That's like a lot. I just saw the Ace of Wands, so I feel that somebody is getting some very specific divine downloads about the truth. How to step into your boss energy. King of Pentacles. This is not gender specific. How to step into your truth and power as a boss. How to lead with intention. How to lead with love, I'm hearing. A lot of times in society, we think that in order to lead, we have to be closed, or we can't show people our vulnerability, right? Like it's, you know, all the boundaries around, like I'm hearing work-life balance, but that's not what I mean. It's more, you know, like if you have someone who's a teacher and they're like, oh, you can't mingle with your teacher, or you can't mingle with your boss because then they might seem too human, and it's like we want to pretend. Like this energy is like, oh, I want to pretend that I'm impenetrable, like I'm not human, like you can't get to me. But actually, like, leading with love means I just saw an orb. It's funny because I was thinking about them the other day. I was like, I haven't seen the orbs in a while. I wonder how they're doing, or the spirits, but I haven't seen them, you know, in the 3D. Got a little off track. But so yeah, so with this energy, it's like you're learning how to put on your big girl or big boy panties and lead with love, which is actually really scary. It's much scarier to lead with vulnerability and to show your humanness and to show your flaws. But that's how somebody will really respect you and honor you. This Knight of Swords for me, there's some communication coming in about the lack of balance. Six of Pentacles. So there has been a lack of balance. And the Ten of Cups just came up. So the lack of balance around emotional fulfillment. And for many, I feel you've been pretending to, okay, so this is kind of like a half and half message. For some of you, you've been pretending that everything's okay on the surface. Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So that's self-deception. So by distracting yourself with other things that you care less about, you've been lying to yourself and pretending that this Ten of Cups is not as important as it actually is. So this is emotional fulfillment. This is ultimate happiness. And so there is some truth in communication that wants to be spoken, and a rebalancing of the energies with the Six of Pentacles. For some reason, the scales have been out of balance. But as we started this reading, it was very much around things balancing themselves back out. Stagnancy. Okay, yeah. It's so funny. I'm seeing this card in such a new way. It's funny how we go through parts on our journey and we get new information around how to view things. And I used to be the Emperor in one way, and now I've learned like a whole new aspect to view the Emperor, and how I'm feeling it and reading this energy particularly, because obviously it's all about energy, and the read is not going to be the exact same read. One time you get the Emperor, from another time you get the Emperor. But seeing it come up with the Two of Swords, to me, this is a person that is holding back and in a form of impasse and stagnancy because of overthinking, and because they're trying to manipulate the power and have the control. So this could be you I'm speaking to, because like I said, I'm not reading divine masculine or divine feminine energy separately, but this could also be your counterpart. So the person that you are in a connection with could be getting a little bit tripped up with this power and manipulation of wanting to be in control, and knowing that, well, I guess, no, they do know, because we have the Knight of Swords here. So they know that they can't really be in control. They know that they have to rebalance the scales, and it kind of goes back to this leading with vulnerability, leading with love. But that's not something that you or whoever this person is accustomed to. It's not natural for them. It's very unnatural for them. It's not what they've been taught. And there's like a slow and steady energy, Knight of Pentacles, in healing this, okay? Because we also have the Star here. So this person has been really inspired by your example, okay? So I'm probably speaking to a divine feminine whose divine masculine has been very inspired by their divine feminine's influence on their life and their leadership, and them being an example of what the Ten of Cups really is, what true emotional fulfillment is, and what it's like to lead with vulnerability and to lead with the heart. So that's really beautiful. That's really beautiful energy. And it feels like this person is just kind of overcoming some fears and really having to confront, we saw the Tower earlier, so really having to confront this desire to be in power, to be in control, to be the one with holding their poker face and their cards to their chest and acting as if they're impenetrable. No one is impenetrable. Least of all, twin flames. least of all, I've heard some people say like advanced souls. And that's not with like a cockiness, that's just with a, I don't know, I was gonna say practicality, but the more you embody and embrace your truth and your knowing and your understanding of who you are and your role, the less you will experience that subjugation from other people. And what I mean by that is if you're not integrated in your power, your purpose, this kind of goes back to the purpose we were talking about at the beginning, but when you're not really integrated into it and you don't recognize or see yourself to be powerful, to be an anomaly, to be here with like a specific path and a specific mission, like if you haven't done that work or integrated that, people are constantly going to be challenging that. People are constantly going to be coming at you and trying to disempower you because they can see that you're wobbly. However, if you're a person who is super integrated and super, like, you know yourself and you know who you are and you sit on your throne in a very, gosh, the word integrated just keeps coming up, but in a very calm and stable, powerful way, people don't fuck with that. They just don't. You know, people respect that. People see that. You know, it kind of, and this is like a way that they're giving me to explain it, is like animals, but I'm going to go with dogs because they're pack animals. So with dogs, like, there's an alpha, and that alpha usually doesn't have to show the other dogs that they're the alpha with their ferociousness and with like talking a lot of shit, right? Like, they don't have to tell you about how powerful they are because it can be felt. It's all energy. And every once in a while, maybe a dog will try and challenge that, and then it's like this integration that, or I don't want to say integration, but then it's this, you know, opportunity for that dog to kind of show them, no, I am the alpha, or maybe they're not anymore. And it's this recalibration of the energies and rebalancing out. So basically, the reason they gave me that, and I hope it made sense, is it's, you don't have to tell people that you are powerful, that you are an ascended master, that you are a twin flame. You don't need to tell people. They feel it. And I've experimented with this, you know? I think at the beginning of this journey, it was hard to really embrace my differentness. It was hard to embrace. It felt like a curse versus a blessing, right? So it felt like, well, I'm so different. Now I don't know how to explain this, and like, how do I integrate into society? And now I feel there's this shift that's taken place, and I would definitely say that this has happened for Divine Feminines as a collective, but there's this, you know, we don't need to shout it from the rooftops. We don't need to talk about it. And there's been a shift where the people that we attract already know it. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to say it. You know, there's no need to throw our power around, right? And I'm also reminded of like a dog who is more insecure, that is the one that's gonna like be instigating or starting fights, you know? But like a very secure alpha dog is taking a nap most of the day, you know, chilling. Okay. I hope that made sense. That was a really interesting message to come through as I was shuffling these cards. Okay. The Fool. 10 of Cups. Okay. So the Fool came out in reverse. King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. King of Pentacles, 10 of Cups in this deck just flipped over as well because I have a couple decks down here. So this Fool in reverse tells me that there is a fear of looking foolish and being naive. There is a fear of putting themselves out there. So this is, again, that energy of not knowing quite how to do it, and there's an overthinking. There's this Emperor energy. There's this King of Pentacles energy. There's this wanting to project this image that this person has it all together, that they know what they're doing, that they're just that they have their shit together. And what's actually more inspiring and more beautiful is to witness a person that says, I don't have all the answers and I am struggling right now, but here's what I'm learning. Here's what I'm working on. Here's what's really cool about being in this place, right? That vulnerability, that honesty. And you know, the King of Cups is a person who feels so much, has like a depth of emotion, male or female, but doesn't know how to share it, just can't speak it, can't share the feelings, and that can get them into a lot of trouble. It's almost like what the word they just gave me is constipation. It's a constipation of emotion and love. It's a blockage. So when that happens, it can get bigger and bigger, and it can get heavier and heavier, and then this person is up in their head, and then they can't think clearly, they can't think straight, they get themselves into trouble, they interact or engage energetically with people that aren't good for them, and then they're vulnerable to attack, like literal attack, psychic attack, emotional attack, entity manipulation, you know, vulnerable, because they're not in their power, because emotion is the true power, like love is the true power. So there's a 10 of Cups here. So there's a person who knows what their 10 of Cups is. They feel very, very deeply the love. They feel the love extremely deeply. But there's a fear of looking foolish. There's a fear of taking the step off of the cliff. It's that saying, like, jump and the net will appear. This is a person who struggles with that. This is a person that needs to see to believe, and they're working on it, because the star is right beneath the King of Cups. So there is a healing occurring at this time. Overcoming the devil energy, because the devil energy is the energy that tells you that you aren't good enough, that you can't, that can happen for other people, but it doesn't happen for you. I saw the Emperor again. So this Emperor energy is a really big one. And you know, there's shadow, there's light and shadow to every card, right? So the Emperor can have a lot of beauty to that card, but in order to get to the beauty, you have to work through the shadow. And I am feeling that we're talking to or about some people in this reading who have been afraid of going into their shadow. Oh, but look at that. We just got the King of Cups in reverse with the Wheel of Fortune. So that's really good. Okay, I like to see that. So Wheel of Fortune, this is the balancing of the scales. This is the divine intervention. It's kind of like Spirit has grabbed these connections. There's no more delay. There's no more delay. The King of Cups is a person who is recognizing and becoming aware of how this neglect of speaking their truth and their heart and their emotions has created such a blockage and created such pain and suffering. And it's kind of like the spirit guidance. The spirit has come in and kind of forced this person to see that so that they can get really real with themselves. And then we also have the 8 of Pentacles here around the self-mastery with the 9 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So 9 and Knight of Cups. So there is a acknowledgement and a recognition of truth and what is truly power. What is true power? That's really what I'm feeling here from this card. This is a beautiful Knight of Cups card. I mean, this man is glowing in golden white light. His cup of love is pure. It is earned. There's a recognition and an understanding of what this offer is. And it's somebody that's been purified in the light. So with this Wheel of Fortune here and the King of Cups in reverse, there's a self-mastery that's taking place to move this person towards their wish fulfillment. And again, as I said, I could be talking about a divine masculine here. I could also be talking about a divine feminine. Because sometimes this journey is about teaching us how to move deeper and deeper into our own worth and our own knowing and understanding of what we truly want. And for some, the lesson of the twin flame journey is to learn how to choose yourself. So yeah, this energy could very well be a divine feminine as well. I'm going to wrap up this reading with a message from the Keepers of the Light deck. It's a very precarious shuffle situation I have today, but that's okay. Spirit. That's beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Commander Ashtar on the bottom of the deck. So whenever he shows up, there's a call to action. It's leadership, taking charge. A lot of themes of leadership, right? But leading in this divine way with vulnerability, with the heart. So, you know, we saw the Emperor multiple times. We saw King of Pentacles multiple times. You know, it's a rebalancing of this masculine energy. Choosing the divine timeline is what I'm hearing. And it's whoever this person is, whoever Commander Ashtar is guiding and working with at this time, it's about making a different choice than you've made in the past. And making a choice from a full place of embodiment and integration of your heart versus your head. Okay? We are also getting expect miracles. So the Holy Spirit, expect miracles. This card has a very mysterious sort of energy to it whenever it shows up. It's like ominous, like something is coming and we don't really know, and they don't really tell us much else other than there's something coming. When you tune into the frequency and vibration of love and you choose love above all else, that's where you are going to find your groove. So remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. So trust in the divine, trust in that presence. And then twin flames, you're really going to like it. The Miriam showed up. So if you are a twin and you are watching these messages, this is definitely addressing twin flame connections. The Miriam is all about sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. So the closing of a cycle requires that you forgive yourself and everyone else involved. If you aren't able to close out the cycle correctly, it just repeats in the new one, and you definitely don't want to take any of this energy with you. You definitely want to step into this new. And for many that are watching, what is required is a forgiveness of yourself. I'm getting a lot of purification energy from this reading as a whole. It's a word that keeps coming up. Purified, purification. And so that requires forgiveness, self-healing, time spent alone in solitude, time in rejuvenation. Okay, so it's really important that you're taking the time to go inward and to heal what needs to be healed, to feel what needs to be felt, to see what needs to be seen. That message was specific for a couple who I feel are perhaps in a bit of an avoidance. And then we have the Shekinah. This is the feminine God force. Okay, this is the Sophia code. This is sacred self. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. So this is the most powerful divine feminine energy. The message that's really strong with this energy right now is the have faith and know, the trust, the surrender. Yes, there's actions that need to be taken, things that we brought up in this reading, but there's also a real need to know, be still and know. Trust, feel, honor, surrender. It's a real purification and integration of everything that we've learned and all of these energies coming full circle. You know, I know we just had this full moon, and that whole moon cycle was a very intense one with the Cancer new moon to this full moon in Aquarius. It was really intense, but for good reason, because a lot is coming from it, and a lot of things that we don't really know yet. But many blessings. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope you're able to discern what messages are for you and what messages potentially might be for someone else. As I said last time, if you are interested in a personal reading, all that information is down below. Otherwise, if it's not the time for you to do a personal reading, but you'd really appreciate more specific messages for you, the more that you engage, like, comment, definitely subscribe, the more I will pick up on your energy in my reading, and they will feel more personal. So thank you so much for being here. Sending you a lot of love.